I recommend traveling to Nikko Toshogu Shrine by train. In particular, Tobu Railway's limited express trains are easily accessible and allow you to experience the atmosphere of Japanese train travel. The train started moving on time. After the train departed, we were still in the city, so we could see the modern cityscape from the window. However, after about 30 minutes, greenery began to appear, the buildings disappeared, and the forest came into view. Eating and drinking on the train is one of the joys of traveling. I had chicken cutlet and tea purchased at the convenience store at the station. If you need to charge your smartphone, use the power plugs attached to your seat. After about an hour, many mountains began to come into view. The train sped through the mountains. It sometimes stops at retro stations in the mountains. This is Shimoimechi, one stop before our destination. After leaving Shimoimechi, we're almost there. We're completely surrounded by the forest. We've arrived at our destination. This is Tobu-nikko Station, the closest station to Nikko Toshogu Shrine. Tobu-nikko Station is the destination for express trains from Tokyo, and is a recommended starting point for exploring the Nikko area. In addition to a large bus stop, the area around the station is home to souvenir shops, restaurants, cafes, and more. A streetcar that was in operation from the Meiji to Taisho periods is preserved and on display in the station plaza. While you can take a shortcut to Toshogu Shrine by bus, this time we'll introduce a walking route. It's about a 25-minute walk from Tobu-nikko Station to the first sightseeing spot. To get there, you'll follow this gentle slope. There are restaurants, souvenir shops, and more scattered throughout the area along the way. Antique shop, cheese specialty store, household goods store. Marion Crepes, with its main store in Harajuku, Tokyo, also has a store here. Yuba crepes are sold exclusively at this shop. Bought one. It was a salty crepe filled with cheese and drizzled with deep-fried yuba. Let's eat our way along the way. Even so, the scenery is truly beautiful on a clear day, and even just walking is enjoyable. There's also a rest area halfway up the slope. Under the eaves, there's a bench and spring water. The bench can seat about 4 people, but it fills up quickly. Apparently, this spring water is drinkable straight from the source. There's a funnel near the spring, so if you have an empty container, fill it up. After walking for a while, I found an unfamiliar vending machine. It was an origami vending machine. It was the first time I'd seen one selling origami like this. In addition to origami, they also sold amulets and other items. Further up the slope, the number of modern buildings decreases, and older buildings increase. This building in particular is a souvenir shop called Nikko Bus-san Introduction, which has been in business since 1905. This is where your tour of Nikko's temples and shrines begins. The first World Heritage site we'll introduce is SHINKYO Bridge. Famous as one of Japan's 3 great strange bridges, its prototype is said to have existed around the year 700. Long ago, only the shogun and priests were allowed to cross the bridge, but now the general public can enter for a fee. Purchasing tickets in advance online will expedite the process. You'll receive a pamphlet upon entry. Now let's head to Shinbashi Bridge. In front of the bridge there is a bell of good relationships, and it is said that if you pray there you will find a good match. I prayed to cherish the connections I have with everyone who is watching this video. We head down the slope to the bridge. Hashi-Heim is enshrined in front of the bridge. Hashi-Heim has strong protection over the bridge and in matchmaking. As we enter Hashi-Heim's domain, we pray to her. This bridge took on its current form around 1600, and is a rare example of a bridge that survived to this day after undergoing extensive renovations in 2000. This is the view from SHINKYO Bridge. Many people take commemorative photos. This is the view from SHINKYO Bridge. Many people take commemorative photos here. If you like Shinbashi and want to take a great photo, try going around to the backside like this. There are stairs surrounded by trees on the opposite side of the road near SHINKYO Bridge. Let's walk towards them. You'll see a stone monument that reads World Heritage Site, Shrines and Temples of Nikko. Go up the stone stairs. Along the way, I came across an abandoned torii gate and shrine. The torii gate and shrine are located next to a small river. I felt lonely, so I offered a little prayer. Leaving the torii gate and shrine behind, we continued on and came to the Otabisho Hayden, the final stop for festivals held in this area. This is a sacred place and entry is prohibited. In the past, samurai rode horses, so the horseshoe shop remains as it was. When you see this statue of Shodo Shonin, you're close to the first temple. Shodo Shonin was a real monk who lived in the 8th century and carved out Mount Nikko, laying the foundations for the shrines and temples of Nikko. There are parking lots and rest areas around here so you can take a break. The rest area has benches that can seat about 5 to 6 people and coin lockers. Let me introduce Rin'nōji Temple, one of the temples and shrines in Nikko. Rin'nōji Temple is famous for 2 buildings, Taiyuan and Sanbutsudo. You can purchase tickets near the entrance. Audio guidance is provided via free Wi-Fi on the premises. The free entrance area includes a Japanese garden where you can experience Japan's 4 seasons. Introducing Taiyuan Temple. The Taiyuan is the mausoleum of Tokugawa Iemitsu, the 3rd shogun of the Tokugawa shogunate. Taiyuan Temple has 3 gates, the first of which is the Nyaman Gate. Nyaman gates are a structure commonly found in large temples and shrines, and feature statues of Kongorikshi guardians, or guardians of Buddhism, to ward off external enemies. The edge of the gate is also decorated with gold-colored guardian lion dogs to ward off evil spirits. After passing through the Nyaman Gate, you will find the path on your left and a temazuya on your right. As you walk up the slope, the second gate comes into view. This gate is named Nitenman, and is home to the statues of Jikakuten and Zokoten. A sign near the gate explains that in addition to Jikakuten and Zokoten, the temple also enshrines Fujin and Raijin. Jikakuten and Zokoten are Buddhist deities that protect directions, with Jikakuten protecting the east and Zokoten protecting the south. Fujin and Raijin are said to drive away evil with wind, and thunderstorms bring blessings. It is well known that the wind god and thunder god are also depicted at Sensoji Temple. Further on, 2 towers rise in front of the last gate. The one on the left houses a drum, and the one on the right houses a bell, which are only brought out during major memorial services. The final gate, the Yashiman Gate, is located in front of Iemitsu's mausoleum. Yakshiman Gate, as its name suggests, is guarded by 4 yakshas. The 4 yakshas enshrined here are Abbot Sumara, Bidara, Kendara, and Umarokia. Yakshas were demons in Hindu mythology, but after being adopted into Buddhism they became guardians. Going through the 3 gates introduced above, you will find the worship hall, the center of Taiyuan. Further inside are Iemitsu's grave and 140 pieces of armor with dragon paintings affixed to the ceiling. However, the worship hall is designated a national treasure, and photography is prohibited. This is the outside of the worship hall. The worship hall is also called Kinkaku-den, because it is decorated with a lot of gold both inside and outside. After seeing the worship hall, head towards the exit. Another highlight of Rin'nōji Temple is the Sanbutsudo Hall, which will be introduced in more detail in the evening session. Nikko Toshogu Shrine is a shrine that enshrines Tokugawa Ieyasu, the first shogun of the Tokugawa shogunate, as a god. The approach just before the shrine is relatively easy to access on weekdays. However, on weekends, as you can see here, there are enormous lines. Toshogu Shrine is located at an altitude of 640 m, almost the same as Tokyo Sky Tree. Near the Torii Gate stand a 5-story pagoda and the main gate. Although Tōshō-gū is a Shinto shrine, the presence of a 5-story pagoda, a Buddhist structure, within its grounds is unusual in Japan. The roof of the first floor section features dragons, rabbits, and tigers. These represent the 1st through 3rd shoguns. Once you've finished looking at the pagoda, go through the admission procedures. However, if you line up at this reception, you will have to wait for several hours or more. By making a reservation in advance through the Toshogu website, you can use the web reservation system and Windows 7, the dedicated counter for group visitors, allowing you to enter without waiting in line. Once you've received your admission ticket, please proceed. Just beyond the reception area stands the Neo Gate. After passing through the Nyaman Gate, you'll see the Sanshinko to the right and the Shinto stables to the left. Audio guides are available for rental around here. Rent one if you'd like to learn more about the buildings. By placing lanterns presented by feudal lords of the time near the entrance, they flaunted their authority. The first unique structure that catches your eye is the Shinko, a storehouse used to store ritual implements. The Kami Shinko is particularly luxurious, as it was used to store treasures. It is easy to identify the Kamishinko because there is an imaginary elephant carved into it. Next, introducing the Shinkyushiya, where horses serving the gods are given rest. Based on the Japanese proverb, monkeys guard horses, 8 tails of monkeys are depicted on the wall. Mother and child monkey. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. Sitting monkey. A monkey looking up at the blue clouds. Monkey in despair on a cliff. Pensive monkey. Married monkeys. Pregnant monkey. These are the life cycles of monkeys depicted in this painting. Also in this area, Toshogu Shrine staff offer photo services. Around here is a purification area called Amazuya. The roof is decorated with paintings of dragons and carp, animals closely associated with water. Before entering the main hall, there is a copper torii gate. It is 4 meters tall and is decorated with the Tokugawa family crest, a 3-leaf hollyhock. It has been hundreds of years since it was made, but there is almost no rust. At the entrance to the main hall stands the Yomiman Gate, considered Japan's most beautiful gate. Over 500 proverbs and auspicious symbols adorn the Yomiman Gate, embodying prayers for peace. The finest architecture and coloring techniques of the early Edo period are employed. In addition to the white porcelain dragon, a closer look at the roof reveals numerous dragon faces. There are also a large number of Kamenu statues, which are considered sacred animals. A statue called Zuishinzo, a deified military officer guarding the gate, watches out for intruders. The queue to the main shrine is also quite intense. The back side of Yomiman Gate looked a little prettier, perhaps because it was less exposed to wind and rain. If you go straight to the main shrine, you will find the Gohonsha, and on the right you will find the Okusha. The Gohonsha is the most important building in Toshogu Shrine. There is a Karamon Gate at the entrance, and here too there are many dragons and lion dog statues, which are spiritual guardians. Photography is prohibited inside, so the footage is only of the entrance. Go to the Okusha Shrine on the right, which is the grave of Tokugawa Ieyasu. This is Japan's most famous sleeping cat, dozing off in the sun. Okusha is located at the end of this narrow rock path and stairs. Once you reach the top of the stairs, the first thing you will see is Okusha Hiden. The Okusha Worship Hall is a place where prayers are offered to Tokugawa Ieyasu, and in the past only the shogun was allowed to enter. Go through the final gate, made of gold, silver and bronze. This is the tomb where Tokugawa Ieyasu rests, and is called the Hoto. Like the gate above, this pagoda is made of an alloy of gold, silver, and copper and has been there since 1683. Despite being the foundation of the Tokugawa shogunate, which lasted for 260 years, I felt that it was a tranquil mausoleum that blends in with the surrounding nature. Tōshō-gū Shrine has many important cultural properties, and photography is not permitted in many of them. If you want to experience nature or something ancient in Japan rather than a city like Tokyo, Tōshō-gū Shrine is one of the easiest places to visit. Nikko Toshogu Shrine offers nighttime worship services for a few days each year. While there are fewer places you can visit than during the day, there are also limited events held, so we will introduce the main places. This is the Sanbutsudo Hall of Rin'nōji Temple, which I was unable to introduce earlier. You can only go up to the entrance, but the large illuminated statues of the three Buddhas are very majestic. The square in front of the entrance will be used as an event venue and stage during the event period. Also, for this limited time only various food trucks will be set up. Next, we head to Toshogu Shrine. The area in front of the reception desk at Toshogu Shrine is lit up. The 5-story pagoda, illuminated in the dark of night, has a different charm than it does during the day. The gold decoration reflects the light, creating a sharper contrast with the dark shadows. As you can see, the reception and Nyaman gate are closed. You can see that the patterns all over the Nyaman gate are quite intricately crafted. There is another location where night worship is held, so we head there. Even though there are streetlights, it is still dark, but there are people coming and going, so I feel a little more at ease. We arrived at the final venue, Futorazen Shrine. Futorazen Shrine is a shrine that worships Mount Nantai near Lake Chuzenji as a god, and this is its branch shrine. This shrine is known for its divine favor in matchmaking, and during this nighttime worship period only, a wedding ceremony was held for one couple per day. In front of the main hall stands a golden rabbit statue, which is said to grant good fortune in relationships. For now, I paid my respects. These papers are omikuji, tied to trees or designated spots. If you are visiting Nikko and there is a nighttime visit, be sure to take a stroll around the shrine at night. Here are some recommended restaurants in Nikko. The first one is Coffee Stand New Type. New Type is located right at the station and welcomes most visitors to Nikko. There is a white world map at the back of the store, with highlighters so you can write your hometown and any comments you might have. Get ready for your trip to Nikko with a special blend of the day. The second place is Nikko SAKAEYA, famous for Eiji Manju. This fried yuba bun in particular has a violent umami flavor, where the salt on the surface, the sweetness of the bean paste filling, and the savory aroma of the oil-soaked yuba all intertwine. What's nice is that anyone who orders food at SAKAEYA is given a complimentary mujika. By resetting your mouth with mujika, you can enjoy the delicious flavor over and over again. If you like rich, sweet flavors, you'll love Eiji Manju. The third place is SOBADOKORO HAYASHI-YA, which is perfect for lunch. HAYASHI-YA is located directly south of Tōshō-gū Shrine, so be sure to visit after visiting the shrine. Samples of the dishes are displayed in front of the store so you can find your favorite. Unfortunately, the menu is entirely in Japanese, but there are pictures so it shouldn't be too much of a problem, and it's quite cheap. First, I ordered the assorted yuba platter. This assortment allows you to enjoy yuba in simmered dishes, tempura, and sashimi. Yuba sashimi is served with a special sashimi soy sauce. Yuba tempura is served dipped in tempura sauce. The key to enjoying it deliciously is adding a suitable amount of grated daikon radish to the dipping sauce. The light sesame oil and slightly charred yuba perfectly with the Japanese-style sauce. The simmered yuba is seasoned with soy sauce and fish broth, a flavor that soothes a weary body. While I was picking at the yuba, the main dish of kamo nanban was ready. Kamo nanban is a wild-flavored soba dish that allows you to fully savor the rich umami of duck. The dishes at HAYASHI-YA are all made with ingredients from Nikko, so you can enjoy the full flavor of Nikko. If you find yourself craving something to eat during your visit to Tōshō-gū Shrine, you might want to grab something from the food stalls along the approach. What you see here is a hashimaki, a portable okonomiyaki wrapped around chopsticks. Last but not least, I introduce Ramen Bonten, a ramen shop found only in Nikko. There is a notice and sign-in sheet at the entrance, so please write your name. The interior features wood grain finishes, creating a calm atmosphere. Many foreigners are also present. Most items on the menu include photos. We also offer great value set meals. Bonten offers a fully English language menu, so you can relax even if you don't understand much Japanese. I ordered the Bonten Miso Ramen. Bonten Miso Ramen features a rich broth made exclusively with miso from Nikko. I ordered extra noodles and chashu, so the bowl is huge. The noodles are thick, cling well to the soup, and have a chewy texture. The chashu is made from pork belly, offering a perfect balance of fat and meat. After taking a sip of the soup to check the flavor, sprinkle pepper to taste. On a cold day, the first sip of hot ramen lets you feel its deliciousness throughout your entire body. That alone is reason enough to eat ramen. The chashu pork, perfectly coated in soup, is delicious on its own. I take a break to drink some soup. For advanced users, adding a small amount of vinegar halfway through eating will enhance the overall flavor. Let's make a small ramen bowl using a Chinese spoon and enjoy eating it. That was delicious. If you want to eat heartily in Nikko, head to Bonten Ramen. If you're staying in Nikko, I recommend Mori no Yuta because it's close to Tōshō-gū Shrine and you can enjoy the hot springs. Mori no Yuta is a guest house with a Western-style appearance located about 2 kilometers from Tōshō-gū Shrine. Upon opening the door, you'll see the counter, luggage storage area, and stairs leading to the second floor. I find the antique folding screen and stone lamp near the counter quite charming. The guest rooms are mainly located on the second floor, so after checking in, please go up the stairs. I booked a twin room this time. Here is an overview of the room. A closet is located near the door, and blankets are provided for your use. The window can be freely opened and closed for ventilation, and a TV is provided. Additionally, the remote controls for the TV and air conditioner are placed on the nearby desk, and the Wi-Fi password is written on a piece of paper. Opening the door inside the room reveals the toilet and shower room. The shower room is equipped with soap, toothbrushes with toothpaste, safety razors, and other items. Near the window, you'll also find a yukata for sleeping, a bath towel, and a hairdryer. It's about time we went to the hot springs. The hot springs are in the annex, accessible from the second floor. The entrance to the hot spring is marked by a Norin curtain with the hiragana character, "U" written on it. If no other guests are present, you can have the hot spring bath to yourself. When using it, use the sign at the entrance to display, "In use." There is a changing room in front of the bathtub. Don't forget to lock the door from the inside before changing clothes. After taking off your clothes, place them in the laundry basket and head to the bathtub. The bathtub area has a shower with body soap and shampoo, so please wash your body before entering the hot spring. After washing your body, please enjoy the hot spring to your heart's content. Your fatigue will melt away, and a pleasant drowsiness will come over you. Cotton swabs and such are used after bathing. Also, be sure to turn off the lights in the bathtub. Turn off the lights in the changing room and switch the sign to "Available." Still feeling pleasantly drowsy, I return to my room before the bath water gets cold. I'd like to just fall asleep as soon as I get into bed, but I'll get ready for tomorrow first. There is a power outlet next to the bed, and the provided power strip also supports USB charging. Don't forget to charge your cell phone, camera, and mobile battery. I'm really at my limit now. Good night. I slept soundly. Now that morning has come, let's resume our activities. When leaving the room, lock the door. Even if no one is at the front desk, just let them know, and you can leave the key without any problem. I'll now head to the Chuzenji area to enjoy the breathtaking natural scenery of Japan's mountains. In the remote areas of Nikko, bears are known to roam, so here's what you should bring. The first is a bear bell. Bears are naturally timid creatures, so alerting them from a distance with sound helps prevent sudden encounters. The second is firecrackers. If you spot a bear in the distance, the sound and smell of gunpowder can be expected to scare it away. If a bear approaches, the only thing that can protect you in the end is bear repellent spray. Using scent to repel them is also effective. It's best not to store these tools in your bag. Keep them readily accessible using a dedicated belt or similar. For those traveling by bus first thing in the morning, JR Nikko Station, located southeast of Tobu-nikko Station, is the most recommended starting point. Since this is the starting point for many buses, it's easy to plan your bus travel here. The cityscape seen from the bus gives a different impression than the one seen when walking. I passed over the SHINKYO Bridge. This spot is directly south of Toshogu Shrine. It's near where SOBADOKORO HAYASHI-YA is located. Gradually, the buildings became fewer and the trees more numerous. We're just entering the mountain road now. The forest is beginning to cover both sides of the roadway. The Mount Nantai Peak visible in the distance when I glanced back while turning can be seen from here too. The next stop has been displayed on the screen. Since this is my destination, I press the stop button inside the bus to notify the driver of the next stop. From here on, it becomes the Irohazaka Pass connecting Nikko and Chuzenji. Irohazaka has a total of 48 curves, and the views from here are so spectacular that it's famous as a destination accessible only by car. We have arrived at our next destination, Akechi-Daira. It's a 30-minute bus ride, about 20 kilometers from JR Nikko Station. The stop is brief, so please disembark promptly. Akechi-Daira is an observation deck located on Hangetsu Mountain, offering panoramic views of Nikko and Lake Chuzenji. From here in particular, you can get a good view of Mount Nantai, which is revered as a deity in this area. Mount Nantai is an active volcano, and it is said that the terrain in this area was formed by an eruption 7,000 years ago. There is also a ropeway station here. The ropeway continues to the summit of Mount Hangetsu, offering even better views. To ride the ropeway, please check in at the office next door. The area near the office serves as a simple rest stop and viewpoint, making it a good place to refresh yourself during a long bus trip. There are also photo spots. The rest area can seat about 10 people and has a snack bar where you can eat and drink. The specialty is grilled chicken skewers. The staff carefully grill each skewer one by one to ensure even cooking. Seasoning is simple, just salt and pepper, but the ingredients are so good, it's absolutely delicious. Warning signs are posted in this area when bears are sighted. Even in this case, if you take the ropeway up, take precautions against bears. Unfortunately, when I arrived here, the ropeway was suspended for the entire day due to strong winds in addition to the bears. This time, I'll reluctantly give up and head to Lake Chuzenji instead. If you already know about Akechi-Daira and are planning a trip to Nikko, Please keep this in mind. Take the bus to Chuzenji Onsen Station to explore the Chuzenji area. I recommend visiting Kegon Falls early in the day. Kegon Falls is about a 5-minute walk from Nakasendai Onsen Station. Follow the signs, and you'll see the entrance to the dedicated observation deck. On the left is the dedicated elevator, and on the right is the reception desk. Kegon Falls does not offer advance ticket sales online, so you must pay the admission fee at this ticket counter. After purchasing your admission ticket, proceed to the elevator. There are separate entrances for groups and individuals. Please line up at the individual entrance. There are 2 elevators to the observation deck. Please wait until they arrive. The observation deck is located 100 meters underground. The display inside the elevator shows an overview and history of the observation deck. I've arrived at 100 meters below ground, but it's a short walk to the observation deck. I've arrived at the observation deck. The observation deck has a 3-tiered structure. Lower, middle, and upper levels. Each has its own characteristics, so I'll start by introducing them from the bottom layer. From the lower level, you can enjoy views of Kegon Falls, the waterfall basin, souvenir shops, and more. Water splashing back from the waterfall pool drips down from the observation deck, despite the considerable distance. Viewing Kegon Falls from the lower level is somewhat distant, and since the upper level's platform is visible, I think the scenery is slightly less appealing. However, the view from the waterfall to the pool below is more powerful than any other level because the distance is the closest. Souvenir shops sell traditional Nikko foods and beverages, as well as t-shirts and other items. Inside the store, freshly squeezed milk was also being sold. This milk can be served hot or cold. This fresh, unpasteurized milk is rich yet smooth and easy to drink. Next, we'll proceed to the mid-level. The middle section is closest to the waterfall and is the most photogenic spot. There is also a paid commemorative photo service available here. This is the final upper level of the observation deck. The upper level offers unobstructed 360-degree views of the natural surroundings near Kegon Falls. However, it is located slightly farther from the waterfall than the middle section. After enjoying the waterfall view, let's take the elevator back. Kegon Falls has another attraction, these stalls. Cafe where you can enjoy coffee, hot dogs, and other items. A food stall serving traditional Nikko cuisine. Be sure to try the suetun at the cafeteria, Sumikko. Suetun is an old Japanese country dish. It is a soup made by simmering wild mountain vegetables in miso broth, with boiled wheat flour dumplings added. Add sesame seeds or shikimi pepper to taste. Enjoy the rich flavors of abundant vegetables, broth, and miso. It doesn't have a stimulating flavor, but it's a savory taste that simply blends with your body. Kegon Falls, one of Japan's 3 most famous waterfalls, was highly satisfying. Introducing Lake Chuzenji, where you can experience the beauty of Japan's nature up close. Lake Chuzenji is a dammed lake formed approximately 20,000 years ago by the eruption of Mount Nantai, with a circumference of about 25 kilometers. Located at an elevation of 1,269 meters, it is the highest natural lake in Japan. The view from the lakeshore allows you to feel the harmony between the mountains and lake, shaped over 20,000 years. Some meetings of the G7 summit held in Japan in June 2023 took place here at Lake Chuzenji, and the commemorative monument has become a popular photo spot. When I visited Lake Chuzenji, the wind was strong, and the lake's shoreline was no less turbulent than the rough Japan Sea. As I walked along the coast, I spotted a boat rental area. Due to strong winds, it appears that service is suspended. The path to the pier is also blocked by swans due to danger. Additionally, there are sightseeing boats here, and when the waves are calm, you can access the lakeside observation deck. Now, let's head to Chuzenji Temple, which gave this lake its name, while taking in the coastal towns along the way. There was a place where you could go glamping. It was quite authentic. On the other hand, there was also a large restaurant that had fallen into ruin. The demolished site is now a parking lot, but you can still sense the charm of experiencing the passage of time. Around Chuzenji Temple, there are old-fashioned souvenir shops and boat rental shops. We begin our visit to Chuzenji Temple, the oldest temple in the Nikko area, founded in 784. To enter, please complete the admission procedures here. Once you've obtained your wabi-sabi-inspired ticket, head toward the entrance. At the entrance to Chuzenji Temple stands a Neo gate, guarded by statues of the Kongo Rikishi. When entering the temple grounds, remember to bow. Behind the gate, the wind god and thunder god are enshrined. Upon passing through the gate, the first thing that catches your eye is the Buddhist bell for the fulfillment of all wishes. Nearby, a sign in Japanese explains the origin of the temple bell. Within the temple grounds, there is a spring water called the Enmei Sui, said to grant long life to those who drink it. The largest tree bears a strange growth, said to have formed as a substitute for the illnesses of mankind. If you ever have the chance to come here, please take a moment to appreciate this tree. As it is a very old temple, some parts may be undergoing repair work. We pay our respects to the deity Aizen Mayu, enshrined here, who bestows blessings of good health, increased prosperity, mutual respect, and surrender. We have reached the innermost part of the temple, the area surrounding the main hall. The main hall enshrines the principal image, the Tachiki Cannon. The Tachiki Cannon statue is carved directly from a single tree trunk, with its lower half left as the tree's roots. It is one of the rarest Buddhist statues in Japan. After leaving the main hall, there is a corridor leading outside. The view of Lake Chuzenji from here is the one that remains most vividly etched in my memory. If you like the scenery of Lake Chuzenji after watching this video, please explore around to find your favorite view. Just remember that when you return to Nikko, you'll need to take the bus again for several tens of minutes. Nikko hosts numerous seasonal events, but I'm sharing this because the Japanese drum performance by local young volunteers was truly wonderful. What did you think of the ultimate guide to Nikko and Lake Chuzenji? I hope I have been able to convey at least a little of Nikko's World Heritage sites and the beautiful scenery of Lake Chuzenji. I believe I've shown you the main points, but there are many areas where photography is prohibited. Moreover, I truly hope you'll experience this magnificent scenery with your own eyes at least once. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel and give it a thumbs up. I'll keep making videos about the best parts of Japan. Thank you for watching until the end. Have a nice trip.